Hello, wonderful friends, and welcome back to our story time. Today, we're going on an adventure to a land far away and a time long, long ago. Are you ready? Let's begin. In a beautiful land called Israel, there lived a young shepherd boy named David. His job was to look after his family's fluffy sheep. David wasn't just any shepherd. He had a special friend he talked to all day long, God. While the sheep grazed on the green hills, David would play his harp and sing beautiful songs. He'd sing things like, "God cares for me. He's always here with me." Because he truly believed it. He trusted God with his whole heart. Every single day, while watching over his flock, he would think about how amazing and good God was. Sometimes a little sheep would get scared and go, "But." David would gently pat it and say, "Don't you worry, little one. God is watching over all of us. He'll keep us safe." And David knew this was true. He wasn't just saying it. He remembered times when a big, scary lion or a huge, growling bear tried to snatch one of his sheep. But David wasn't afraid. He knew God was with him, giving him the strength to protect his flock. And with God's help, he bravely fought them off and kept every single sheep safe. He learned that with God, even a young boy could be as brave as the mightiest warrior. One day, a shadow of fear fell over the land of Israel. The Israelite army was camped on one side of a deep valley, and on the other side stood their enemies, the Philistines. But it wasn't the whole army that scared them. It was one man, a giant of a man named Goliath. He was taller than any house David had ever seen, and his voice boomed across the valley like thunder. Ha! Goliath would roar every day. "Who dares to fight me? Send out your best warrior. I am the strongest of all." The Israelite soldiers would tremble in their boots. One would whisper to another, "Look at the size of him. No one can defeat that giant. He's enormous." They were all terrified. But David, who had come to the camp to bring food for his brothers, heard the giant's taunts. He saw the fear in the soldier's eyes, and something stirred in his heart. It wasn't fear, it was faith. He stepped forward and said, "I'll fight him. God will help me." The soldiers were shocked. They took him to King Saul, who looked at David with doubt. But David, the king said kindly, "You're just a boy." Goliath is a mighty warrior, trained for battle since he was young. How could you possibly defeat him? David stood tall and answered with confidence, "Your Majesty, when I was taking care of my sheep, God helped me defeat a lion and a bear to protect my flock. The same God who saved me from them will save me from this giant, too." King Saul was so moved by David's faith that he agreed. He offered David his own royal armor and sword, but they were too big and heavy for the young shepherd. David shook his head. He didn't need a heavy sword or clunky armor. He had something much more powerful, his trust in God. He walked down to a nearby stream and carefully selected 5 smooth, round stones. He counted them as he picked them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready, with his simple shepherd's sling in one hand and his 5 stones in a pouch, he walked out to face the giant. Goliath saw David coming and burst into laughter. "Ha ha ha, is this your champion? You come to fight me with a stick," he mocked. David wasn't intimidated. He shouted back, his voice clear and strong, "You come against me with a sword and a spear and a javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." Then David did something amazing. He took 1 stone, placed it in his sling, and began to swing it around and around, faster and faster. Whoosh! He let it go. The stone flew through the air like a rocket and wham! It hit the giant right on his forehead. Goliath stumbled, his eyes wide with shock, and then he crashed to the ground with a mighty thud. The giant was defeated. When the Israelite soldiers saw the giant fall, a huge cheer erupted from the camp. "God has given us the victory," they shouted, their fear replaced with courage. They charged across the valley and won a great battle that day. From that day on, everyone in Israel knew an important lesson. God doesn't look at how big or strong or important someone looks on the outside. He looks at what's in their heart. David, the young shepherd boy, became a hero. And he continued to trust God for the rest of his incredible life, always remembering that God is always with him. And you know what? He's with you too. So remember this amazing story. It doesn't matter if you feel small or if the challenges in front of you seem as big as a giant. If you have faith and trust in God, He can use your courage to do wonderful and mighty things. Thank you so much for joining me for this incredible story today. If you loved it, please give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.